Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So continuing on with our series of the Corona Chronicles, today I want to talk with you about what to do if your clients start to fall, right? Your key accounts, they start to shut things down, they stop buying from you, they aren't paying on time, they start to get a little bit wiggy. This can happen at any time, but in a situation like this, you're going to see the volume potentially increase. People freak out, they batten down the hatches, they stop all of their spends, all of these things. It really depends on what type of service you're offering. And so I tend to have a lot of coaches that are actually clients of mine as well. And they find that their corporate clientele, as an example, are deciding not to spend money on sales training right now. And so what they've said, or what they're hearing from clients is, our firm, law firm, accounting firm, engineering firm, architecture firm, has decided not to spend any money on training right now. And so I'm always mindful of what type of solution you're selling to a client, and is it really discretionary? What I find fascinating is firms not wanting to do sales training when their sales are in the tank. And so it's like saying, I don't want to have the housekeeper in until I tidy the house, or I don't want to hire a personal trainer until I lose weight. The logic is bonkers, but that's okay. Darwin will eat those companies up. And the companies that decide to continue operations and find a way through the new norm, these are the people that are going to eat their lunch. But let's say that you're selling something that really is discretionary. It could be housekeeping, it could be bookkeeping, things like that. What you want to do is when clients start to act wiggy, you want to have the conversation early with them by saying, how is business going for you? What are you thinking about what you're going to do in the upcoming months? A lot of people are scared to have these conversations because they don't want to hear the answer. They don't want to hear a client say, I don't know if I'm going to be being able to use you next month, or I'm worried that we're going to have to stop working with you. People would rather not hear the answer than hear the answer and plan accordingly. And so what I want you to start to think about doing, and it goes back to the first video I ever shot this year, which is becoming comfortable with being uncomfortable. I'm going to link to that in the card and down below. Apologies, my first video, it was dog shit. Those uncomfortable conversations are mandatory. Like, really, you don't get to decide if you're having them or not. You got to have them. And on top of that, it will create some intimacy. And I think probably third, I'm going to come back to intimacy in a second, but third is it's going to allow you to have an opportunity to showcase to the client why you may still be worth the investment. Now, going back to intimacy, having hard conversations is one of the best intimacy builders that you can have with your clients. Now, for me, I tend to congratulate clients when they've done something well, and I give them a kick in the ass when they're not doing things well. And so those are intimate conversations on both sides. But in a situation like this, where you might be a discretionary buy, you need to figure out where that client is. And if you followed any of the videos in this series, kind of the previous videos, you'll know that the time is now to get off your ass and go find clients. I mean, for 10 years, people had clients come in, so they didn't hunt. You got to go hunt. And if you know that half of your clients are going to disappear because they've told you, you better get your ass out there and hustle and find people who are not buying into the, kind of the panic or the emotion, and realize like business is usual, or it's business as usual, but in the new norm. We have new perimeters of which we're operating. So if you see clients getting wiggy, ask them about it. If they're a bit dodgy and they don't want to talk with you about it, because remember, clients sometimes have a hard time having those conversations by saying, I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford you. Probe them a little bit. Say to them, do you expect to be cutting our work together, or have you given any thought to that yet? That's not you prompting them. They're not going to immediately go, geez, no, I never thought about that, but now I am. And yes, I am going to cut you. Everyone's thinking about all of this shit right now, so get it on the table so that you know where you're at. The other side of that plate is the reason why I want you to know where you stand with those clients is if you think that you might not get paid by the client. So let's say that you're in a model where you're not on retainer, which is a f***ing mistake. Everyone should try to get on a retainer if you're selling a service or even a product. Getting deposits now is not crazy to ask for. You should not be working ahead of the money. But if you do work ahead of the money, as soon as you get a sniff that it's going to be tough to collect on that client, tool down. You need to stop working on accounts that you're not going to get paid on and invest that time in hunting up new accounts, new clients. And so a lot of people go, well, I'm just going to kind of keep on working, hoping that they pay me. That. Do not do that. As soon as you get a sniff that that client is not going to pay, fucking tool down and have a conversation with them. And until you are certain you're going to get paid, tool stay down. You need to protect the value you bring to the table. It's like saying to somebody who, let's say they're in a relationship and they're like, I don't think I'm ever going to get married to this person, but I'm just going to stick it out and run the clock down and see if I can change their mind. No. If your clients do not value what you do, go find clients that will, right? There is going to be a natural transition in clientele because we're going to see a shitload of business failures for people who have not gotten off their ass, thought this would last 2 weeks or a month, and everything was going to go back to a bull market. It is not. This is the new norm. You need to get honest with yourself, honest with your clients. They need to be honest with you, and you need to constantly be taking the pulse to make sure that everything is still going good. Now, I'm not saying call your client every day or every week and go, hey, are we still good? But check the temperature regularly and don't lie to yourself. It's better to invest that time in finding new clients than doing work that you don't get paid for. Anyway, if you have any questions around how to do this, put them in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them. And in the meantime, remember, 10 to 20% of businesses are going to thrive and 80 to 90% are going to suffer and or close down. So you have to decide which camp you want to be in. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.